The UK Border Agency man all entry points into Britain to make sure only legitimate travellers get into the country. But some get through illegally, and many visitors stay longer than they should. It's estimated there are up to 1 million illegal immigrants living in the UK. Today in Stoke, an enforcement team led by immigration officer Phil Arthur is planning raids on car washes believed to be employing illegal workers.
This morning we're going to car washes, all very local to the office here. The first of which is Bubbles Hand Car Wash. When we enter, straight in, and it's going to be very dynamic, guys. We want to get right out of the vehicles and straight into them. Okay, thanks ladies and gentlemen, see you out there.
Enforcement teams around Britain have their work cut out keeping tabs on car washers. They are start-up businesses that can appear overnight and offer low-paid casual work, appealing to workers who are not entitled to be here.
Most city centres nowadays have quite a lot of these establishments. The problem is that at the end of the day, these people are either illegally in the UK and or illegally working in the UK.
It's usually Afghans, Iraqis, that's the sort of person we get working illegally. So we don't expect these people to be paid the minimum wage, don't expect any working time directives to be met by the employer. It's just a case of exploitation once again. It's trying to shut these places down.
A car wash is the kind of place clandestines who've beaten the Czechs at Calais can end up working. It can be a far cry from the life they hoped for in Britain.
Watch your feet, Carl, and they're slippy, mate.
Hello there, sir. How are you? We're from immigration.
OK, we've got a warrant issued by the courts to be here this morning. You just need to establish your identity, nationality and status in the UK, all right?
There are 3 employees. If they have the right to work in the UK, they should be known to the Home Office.
Yeah. OK, you come this way then. When were you born? Yeah, Pakistan. Are you illegal or illegal in the UK?
Legal.
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 You have a visa?
Yeah. I am stay here in this country.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Checks against the database confirm this man has a British wife and is allowed to work, and that his Pakistani colleague has indefinite leave to remain in the UK. But the records relating to the third worker are less straightforward. He has a checkered history with the border force.
The last time you entered the UK, when was that?
Yeah, he's OK. Yeah.
About 1 month ago.
The man was caught living illegally in Britain 2 years ago. He opted for AVR, Assisted Voluntary Return, a European scheme that gave him a free flight home and £500 cash.
The AVR, a month later, got married in Iraq to a British lady.
Okay.
He says he's come in a month ago again, after voluntarily returning.
After the man was returned to Iran, he travelled to Iraq and married a British woman. He then came back to the UK, hidden in the back of a lorry.
How did he come in? Did he say it's
Illegally.
okay?
Yeah,
He came in
back of the
illegally, even though he's married and he's...
Yeah, apparently he's applied to come in legally and not been allowed,
Right.
so he's come in illegally.
So he's coming in illegally and he's living with his wife and
He's
his parents
living with
inside.
with his wife in Silverdale.
Officer Sean Flaherty wants to know why the man took AVR, only to come back again as an illegal entrant.
We have laws for a reason. You apply for a visa, yeah, you're refused a visa, and then you completely decide to disregard UK law and enter the country illegally. Why would you think that would be right at all?
Nothing else I could do.
Well, stay in your country.
I would stay in my country. Just how about if my wife, if she didn't stay with me? If she doesn't like it, like the culture, she didn't like it, the religion, she didn't like it, the nothing, you know.
If your wife's got difficulties living there for whatever reasons, then that's between you and your wife. But it doesn't justify you coming here for the second time illegally, does it? If you refuse a visa, it means you're not being allowed to come into the United Kingdom. It doesn't mean, here's a green light, go and get in the back of a lorry and come in illegally. That's not the way it works.
I'm arresting you now as an illegal entrant to the UK. You do not have to say anything, but it may harm your defence if you do not mention, when questioned, something you later rely on in court. Would you like to stand up for me? This gentleman's just going to give you a quick search.
Okay. He did return to Iran originally under the voluntary assisted removal programme. A majority of voluntary removals under that programme do get a financial assistance to reintegrate back in their own country. So he's had that, possibly. And then he comes back in illegally. Not going to get a refund, are we?
Hi. You the owner? I spoke to you on the phone. Yes. I'm Carl. I'm an immigration officer, okay? Right.
If the owner of the car wash can't prove he's made the required checks on the man, he could be fined up to £10,000 for employing him.
He's married with the English woman, right? She comes every day here to pick him up.
I fully understand that, sir, and I don't have a problem. That's exactly what he's told us.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that unless you should keep a record and you should keep a copy for yourself.
Yeah, but
so that if a situation like this arises, then you can show us some copies of your...
the thing is, sir, right, this is not a big business, right?
No,
no.
Absolutely, fully understand that. How long has he been working here, sir?
About 5-6 months.
So 5-6 months is a long time not to have a record, isn't it?
I wasn't here, But
okay.
The thing is, right, don't get me wrong. I've been brought up in this country, like, if I've got a national insurance number, right?
Sure, well, it actually says on the card now, so do be aware of that. It's not proof of identity. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much for your time this morning.
The owner of the car wash was fined £5,000 for employing an illegal worker. And even though the man admitted to coming twice into the UK illegally, he was later released. He remains on reporting conditions while the Home Office consider his case. But the day is young, and the team have another car wash in their sights. In Calais, hundreds of migrants gather near the port and live rough in the jungle, their camp in the woods outside town. In their eyes, it's the last stop before realizing their dream to cross the channel illegally and reach the UK. With 3,000 lorries passing through every day, there are plenty of opportunities to hitch an illicit ride. Chief Immigration Officer Tammy Richer and her team offer up a line of defense.
Some assistance on 4, please.
They check trucks waiting to board the ferries. They use carbon dioxide probes to detect clandestines breathing inside.
That's good.
Officer Richer gets word that colleagues have found some clandestines.
How many have you got? 7.
A high CO2 reading gave them away, hiding in a consignment of alcohol. Officer Darren Stamati is on hand to escort them off the load.
7 clandestines at the moment, Afghanistan's. Generally what happens, whenever we enter a load, they ask us if one chance to go to the UK. I don't know why they think that they're going to get that, but I think they just try it. They always seem to be in fairly good spirits, but that can change at any point because some of these people, they can be fairly desperate to get to the UK.
Just 2 at a time.
Can I have you and you, please? Can you move out to the vehicle? So where do you live in Calais?
Out of the jungle.
Yeah?
Yes. Under the tree. You know a tree?
Under the tree?
Yeah.
In the jungle? Yeah. 2 more? Okay. There's just this belief that in England, it's just a place they all seem to want to go to. They're not happy to stay here. They just want to go to England.
Yes.
Why do you want to go to England?
Because problem in Afghanistan, very big problem.
Right.
Yes, sir. Very.
So why England?
Because, sir, I want to get knowledge in England.
You want to get knowledge?
Yes, sir. Study in England.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't you think you can get knowledge in France?
Yes, sir. They are not allowed to stay here, stay here in France. Sir.
Okay.
The situation in France is not good, sir.
The belief is in England it's easy to stay for a longer period of time. There's work there, whereas in France, I think they have an understanding they don't get to remain in the country for too long. They're happy to sort of live rough and just try and make a play for the UK. Okay, my friends? Go through, watch your head.
Yes.
Because 7 clandestines were found hiding in their load, the freight company was fined £2,800 and the driver £1,400. An average of 50 clandestines a day are stopped trying to cross the channel illegally at Calais. For as long as it remains difficult to deport them, the clandestines will keep returning to the jungle until their next attempt to get past the UK border agency. More than 10 million passengers a year arrive at Heathrow's Terminal 3. Most have a legitimate reason to come into the country.
There you go. Thank you. Thank you.
A few simple questions at passport control are usually enough to tell if a passenger's trying to hide something.
Two of you?
Officer Neil Newbury has been doing the job for 4 years and knows an unlikely story when he hears one. Today, he stopped an American visitor who was flown in from New York via Toronto. The man says he's here for a 6-month holiday and to spend time with a friend.
We need to look into your reasons for coming to the UK in a little bit more detail. Okay, that's why you've been stopped today. All right? We're sitting up here on...
He has no job in the US and little money, so Officer Newbury suspects the real reason for his visit is to work.
Do you want to pop a couple of your bags up on the bench for the moment, please? Our passenger, he's 26 years old and he's only got about $450 on him. He decided to look like he's found all his clothes into 4 or 5 suitcases and come to the UK for a really long holiday with just a few $100s on him.
An American tourist is not allowed to work in Britain. Officer Newbury wants to know how the passenger will support himself for 6 months. He calls the passenger's sponsor, the friend he says he's here to stay with.
I need to understand, why are you offering to do all this for Jason? Okay, thanks for that. Bye. He's known Jason only for a couple of years. He met in Germany while our sponsor was in the military over there. And Jason apparently was over there visiting friends. They met over there. They've stayed in touch for the last couple of years. The sponsor, he said he's quite happy to pay for everything, which isn't a problem, but I find it so strange that he's prepared to pay for everything for someone that he's known for just a couple of years.
Just news on that guy.
Jason?
Officer Newbury suspects he's not being told the whole truth. Now he wants to question the passenger about his financial dependence on the sponsor.
Are you happy for me to interview you?
No.
What's the problem?
I feel like I've been violated. I never felt
violated?
Like this in my life. Yes.
What have we done to violate you?
What?
What have we done to violate you?
First of all my clothes and stuff was taken out. Like
you never had your bag searched in a foreign country?
No, not like that. Not like that. My wallet, everybody's been going through my wallet.
On this occasion, you're asking to spend a lot of time in this country, okay?
Right,
and you don't have much money with you.
I wasn't. How do you know how much money I have in my account?
I don't know. That's what I'm going to start asking you now. So, are you happy for me to interview you?
No. But I'll answer the questions. I'm telling you that I'm not happy. But
I understand you're not happy, but are you prepared to be interviewed by me?
Yes, I'm prepared.
Okay, can you just tell me why you've come to the UK today?
You know, a lot of things been going on at home. I just lost my grandfather. I don't come from a good upbringing in my neighborhood. My friend's been killed and all of that. So I just want to take a vacation.
Where will you stay while you're in the UK?
With Will. He's a long-time friend of my family.
How long have you known Will?
So I've known him over 10 years.
Do you remember where you met him?
I met him in New York. That's where I'm from.
He's told us he's going to be supporting you for up to 6 months while you're in the UK.
Yeah.
Why does he have to support you?
I mean, whatever he's going to pay for, that's on him. But I got my own money.
Will also told me that he's only known you for about 2 years, not 10 years. And he met you in Germany in 2007. And you've told me that you've known him for 10 years and you met in New York. So I'm a bit confused there as to...
I've known him for a while. I've known Will for a while.
10 years?
Maybe not 10 years, okay? Maybe not 10 years.
Where did you meet him?
In Germany.
You said you met him in New York.
I've met him in New York. He's been in New York before.
Yeah, that's not what I asked you. I asked you, where did you first meet him? You said in New York. He was in New York, I was in New York.
You're confusing me with the questions. You're asking me where did we meet. I'm telling you, I've met him in New York. I've also met him
You said that you met him 10 years ago in New York.
I did not say I met him 10 years ago in New York.
You said you met him 10 years ago in New York. I've got it written down here. That's one of the issues that we've got here. I'm trying to work out what these discrepancies are between yourself and this gentleman who's prepared to support you financially for the next 6 months.
I've been to Germany, I've been to Stockholm, I've been to different places, and I've never been violated. My clothes have never been thrown out. You put all my stuff out, then you told me to put all my stuff there. I'm waiting around. No one offered me anything until I got up in the room over there. No one's talking to me, no one's telling me nothing.
I'm talking to you now.
Now you're talking to me. I've been here since 11 o'clock.
You're not going to calm down. I'll put you back in the holding room. I need to confirm the discrepancies between yourself and Will, okay? That's the issue, one of the issues here.
All right, I don't know Will for 10 years. I've only known him for a short period of time, for a couple of years, that's it.
Just say you met in Germany?
Yes.
He's lying to me, you know, and when I caught him out, you know, that's when he started kicking off a little bit. If I was to act like that in America, the way he's been acting with me, you know, I won't get treated half as well as he's been treated since he arrived. Yeah. And Damage quite appreciates that, to be honest. So he can throw his arms around as much as he wants, but it doesn't change the fact that I'm going to get to the bottom of this.
Coming up, another car wash in Stoke, where the truth is a grey area.
Friend to confirm how old he is.
15.
What?
15 years old, with grey hair.
And the Bangladeshi graduate with little to show for 6 years of studying.
Business work. That's a module in a postgraduate diploma is called business work.
You're beautiful. Beautiful from Estee Lauder. And now with 2 or more Estee Lauder purchases, 1 to be fragrance, this luxurious weekend travel bag is yours free. Christmas made fabulous. Estee Lauder at Debenhams.
There's over 1 million people with Nectar points worth £50 or more. £50 could look like this. Keep on collecting points to spend on your big Christmas shop. Sainsbury's, helping you to live well for less this Christmas.
This is our brand new and exclusive DVD, Top Gear at the Movies.